Last time, our hero attained the Whirlwind Axe, traveled to unknown lands, fruitlessly farmed Scarlet Monastery, and rekindled with our bangin' WoW GF. Continuing the adventure, I bricked my computer trying to install an SSD.
Yeah. Hey.
And decided that in the spirit of fiddling with mechanical contraptions much too complex for my feeble human mind, I wanted to be an engineer. You see, I wasn't having fun with mining and blacksmithing, so I ditched two of the most financially viable professions in the game in exchange for the least profitable job in Azeroth. A stark contrast to being an engineer in real life. Ignoring the impending need for money to buy a mount at 40, I viscerally followed an engineering leveling guide, knowing full well that my viewers would send me money to give me the authentic Asmongold experience. I spent a good 15 minutes making this jump, so please appreciate my position of tinkering. No one in this game seemed to acknowledge my masterful movement. Anyways, I decided that the steep price for coarse stone on the auction house was a bit of a ripoff, and decided to go all the way to Darkshore to get them myself. After a few hours, 30 minutes of honest work, I returned to Ironforge. Before I started this gruesome endeavor, I wish someone had told me that the level cap for my professions scaled with my actual level. I had basically just wasted a bunch of time and gold to familiarize myself with the steep learning curve of this bastard 15-year-old game.
Yeah. I still keep thinking it's Swole Dickus.
I disconnected, and a bug spawned me into guaranteed death by drowning in a location where I couldn't possibly recover my corpse.
Oh, you can go get the title charm
though. I got to my destination faster. Together with my companions, I went back to Scarlet Monastery, where we got ambushed by angsty teenagers. Unlike my friends who fought bravely, I pathetically begged for my life, and bought myself some spare time by performing a sacred mating ritual. Lil Sundo the Lich graciously spared my life. When entering the dungeon, I experienced the usual fuckery that I've grown all too accustomed to at this point. Our healer dies and asks me to actually taunt the mobs. I inform our healer that I don't use defensive stance because I have too much testosterone. Our DPS claims he's doing everything and that I'm not capable of DPSing.
I'm sure they'll like that.
So
why are you playing a tank?
Yet I let the numbers speak for themselves.
Oh, winking damage meters.
Dies in the extremely easily avoidable spin move. After which she tells me that I should have held aggro, our quote-unquote DPS, then cowers in fear instead of attacking the boss.
Wait, that's a DPS?
We wipe and start all over.
Backpedaling away without auto attack?
We finally manage to take down the boss. He drops these 6 set pants. I roll a 22, and a single tear falls down my face. We try to run the dungeon one more time, and with our inoptimal setup, we painstakingly skank our way through the whole thing.
That's impressive.
Excited, I type. Now the axe drops, and I roll a 99. However, the boss was nowhere to be found, because I'm apparently incapable of properly resetting a dungeon. Apparently, leaving and re-entering isn't enough. You also had to click a button. Since I'm goddamn tired of showing you me farming armory over and over again, here's my 37th run where I finally acquired the Ravager. Woo! Yeah! This is the single biggest upgrade to the stand and hit gameplay. Now this game is fucking easy. Look, I don't even gotta do anything. Although, for fear of copyright infringement, I recreated this music piece myself with a royalty-free beat. You spin me right round, baby, right round, when we go down, down.
I hear that, all right.
I couldn't really find a matching beat, but you know,
that's really good.
Times are tough. Then I checked my mail to find the most generous donations to a crusade thus far. Daddy Chill graciously offers up the fiery war axe, or as he calls it, his Kook Cleaver, my first purple piece of gear. Excited to test it out, I go to Stranglethorn Bay, the North Korean border of Azeroth. Home to the Gurubashi Arena, a coliseum of free-for-all PvP, where once every 3 hours the arena chest spawns. It was 6 a.m. and I decided to try my luck. At this ungodly hour, the arena wasn't filled with dozens of people, but rather just 2 individuals.
Just 2 dipshits.
Survivor was a level 44 warrior, and since I could tell he was enjoying World of Warcraft, I decided to extend the game's lifespan for him by a couple minutes, landing me the arena chest on my first try.
What?
I'll have you know that in over 100 hours of game time, looting this chest with PTSD from all the rogues that have previously unstealthed behind me, with the most nerve-wracking 5 seconds yet, perhaps on par with Hrothgar's final moments.
execute? Yeah, why have an execute?
Damn you, turtle. I later tried again at 9 and 12 a.m. and it turns out I just got extremely lucky.
Yes.
It's nearly impossible to get this damn chest.
Yes.
Satisfied with the spoils of battle, I went to Booty Bay, where I found an AFK player. Going against my better judgment, I decided to ruin his day. I should have looked twice though, because this was no player. It was the Horde Griffin Master, who ended my measly existence in seconds. I said, fuck this, it's time to go on an adventure. I managed to get on the mountains between Stranglethorn and Darkwood by glitching up a wall. I looked into the horizon and immediately knew I had to go where no night elf had dared venture. When I saw the hard, clear-cut line in the textures, I knew that Blizzard didn't intend for us to access this area. It looks fucking cool though. Exploration is definitely one of my favorite parts of MMOs.
We do this all the time.
Since this is a long journey, I'll tell you a story along the way. So you know how I've consistently been getting disconnected from WoW? What if I told you that the problem wasn't the Blizzard servers, but in fact my own computer?
I wouldn't believe
This is fucking nuts, right? But in my motherboard, there's this thing called a CMOS battery. And apparently, Windows relies heavily on this battery to tell the time. After 6 years, my CMOS battery had ran out of power, which caused my BIOS to not be able to store the time. 5 to 10 times a day, it would set my Windows time to 11:30 p.m. What's funny is that my router relies on the time, so it would pop me off my internet every time that happened. I'd like to say that's why I haven't streamed in months, but truth be told, it's because I fucking hate streaming. Anyways, I ordered a new CMOS battery online, but because I'm stupid, possibly because my parents dropped me on my head as a kid, but likely just due to my lack of education, I bought the wrong one. And this next part is kinda unbelievable, but genuinely true. I happened to find the correct battery lying on the ground outside of where I do physiotherapy for my scoliosis. Together with a friend, I busted open my computer only to find myself in a troubling predicament. My motherboard, the Asus Maximus Formula 6, has all this armor on it, and along with it, a massive design flaw. To get to the CMOS, I would have to literally take my entire PC apart to then unscrew the armor from the back of the motherboard, then install the new CMOS, put everything back together, and possibly twice in case the battery I found on the ground was used. Considering that it's 6 years since I built this PC and I almost bricked it trying to install an SSD, it's safe to assume that this process would completely break my computer.
Yes, there's no way you're getting through that.
I decided to use knives, scissors, and pliers to directly cut into my motherboard. Oops. Eventually building my frustration to the point where I brutally ripped off the armor with my bare hands.
God damn!
I put in the mysterious battery that I fucking found on the concrete outside, plugged my computer back in, and it literally fixed the entire problem with no repercussions. Moral of the story? Use power tools on your motherboards, kids.
Keep track of your time.
I really needed some filler for the middle of this video. I don't know if you can tell. Anyways, this is where I ended up. I'd gone all the way past Darkwood, Deadwind Pass, and the corner of the Blasted Lands, behind Zul'Gurub, to finally end up at the back end of the Tainted Scar, from where I only had one path available to me. I engaged in a kerfuffle with gravity and stress-tested my bones. I was then forced into a 10-minute resurrection sickness and a 25% durability penalty on all my equipment. Mind you, in an endgame zone with one singular Hearthbringer who enforced his own all-encompassing no Hearthstone
he's a little bit low level for this,
After a reminder of what World of Warcraft is actually like, I returned to the intended gameplay experience. I made a dreadful choice when I decided to go questing in Arathi Highlands.
That's
a mistake.
Gotta kill
these elite mobs. Unbeknownst to my party, I'd already attempted this yesterday with different people and I had Otto's head. There's 2 bosses, the other being Falcon Crest. You know the drill. We corpse walk into the castle. I don't have any healing potions, and I refuse to use shields. Of course, we fail miserably. But you gotta understand, we're veterans of this shit. At level 36, we're dungeon-hardened fucking animals.
That's right.
All of us have been through this countless times. It's a goddamn well-oiled machine. Our mages polymorph Otto and the regular elite mob, a spell that would keep them as helpless sheep for 45 seconds, if not for the fact that we immediately damage them breaking the spell. With our primal instincts, we execute extremely basic game mechanics and exude the very simple coordination required to beat this. That is right until a party of Horde players waddled in and clearly demonstrated that they didn't intend to wait 10 minutes for these dudes to respawn.
Okay, dude.
And begrudgingly return to the castle, then wait patiently. Horde. That is until 7 minutes later, when I realized that Falcon Crest's loot belonged to us, as one of our party members had been alive when our assailant killed him, leaving not just all 5 Horde players unable to complete the quest, but also my 4 comrades who'd be able to rectify the situation in 3 measly minutes. It was at this point I said, "It's been a pleasure doing business with you," and continued my crusade to ruin the authentic classic experience. I decided I'd had my fill of the patented kill an orc in a castle gameplay and began the quest chain for all of Scarlet Monastery. Seeing as I'd farmed one wing 37 times, I might as well do it experience the whole dungeon. After undergoing a multitude of repetitive tasks, I headed to Desolus. Now you might recall me having a tough time in Stone Talon Peak, which is on the way to where I'm going.
He dances
I made sure
with me.
to rectify the situation at hand. It's always exciting discovering
Killing
a new
gray
place
levels.
you've never been to. You never know what's going to happen. You could see a reskin of a mob you've already killed hundreds of times. Slightly different looking NPCs with one of the dozen voices you've heard countless times.
Incredible.
Or maybe you'll even see purple water.
Brings you
if
here?
You're really lucky, you'll get the pleasure of doing an escort mission. God, I love this 15-year-old game. It's so bad, but so good. Questing in Desolus did have its moments. After getting ganked, I got revived by a holy saint who complimented the videos. Little did he know that he was about to receive a multitude of letters containing copy-pasted homoerotic poetry. Make it happen. That's your boy taking on 6 mobs at once, by the way. Twice an hour, I get to speed up the gameplay. This is sick. I also met Chargy, who stopped me from killing Horde players under the guise that we're not like them.
We have honor?
The stance he would uphold right until we ran into a Horde player nearly having soloed an elite boss that he needed to kill. At which point, Chargy threw his morals out the window and did what had to be done. After killing a bunch of skeletal warriors, we each went our own way. He then got his corpse camped by that Horde player until he had to log off. But honestly, that didn't seem like a me problem. You see, I was focused on the task at hand, putting the Ravager to good use on a part of the game everyone else seems to be ecstatic about. A part of the game that I personally despise. Scarlet Monastery. Isn't it exciting how a dungeon spanning 4 instances can have the same 3 models for all the enemies? The most thrilling part is that one boss spins. I stand by my original statement. This game is Cookie Clicker, but with more world building. I'll spare you the boring details.
It does kind of suck.
I lost every roll on every item, with the exception of this useless dog whistle that summons a hound with a minuscule amount of health. As per usual, I got us all killed by pulling too many mobs in the wrong way.
What a surprise.
Twice. We eventually beat the dungeon, and I'm sure lots of stuff happened, but let's be honest. Lord knows I'm not going fishing in these 7 hours of WoW recordings that aren't even in chronological order due to the CMOS incident resulting in random timestamps. Instead, I'll cut to me and Michael Scott dancing on an orc who was involuntarily sleeping on the ground. Speaking of not in chronological order, this happened before I fixed my computer. What happened after I fixed it? I started maniacally selling all my silk cloth on the auction house after finding out I'd need 90 gold to buy a mount at level 40, which was soon. I then went and completed various quests in Stranglethorn Vale. True to the authentic classic experience, they were all very rewarding. Sorry, I pronounced that incorrectly. I meant monotonous. Even though it's something I spent 12 hours of my life on, I can't for the life of me think of a single interesting thing that happened. I could extensively reiterate how we killed some pirates, a sea giant, and hundreds of various exotic animals. A little bit low level, don't you think? Truth be told, I just get goosebumps and flashbacks from all the Horde encounters. Look at this shit. They turned me into a sheep.
And you just knows it's going to happen. You just know it's going to...
I felt scummed out at this very moment. So before leaving Stranglethorn Vale, I decided to do something I'd been putting off for a long time. Killing an AFK player. I was entirely unaware that that's what the Booty Bay Bruisers do. Whoa. But, you live, you learn. Eventually, I would go on to kill this spider, turn off the recording software, and then reach level 40.
Wow.
If you called me a sleep-deprived moron, your argument would have fair grounds to stand on.
Okay.
All of my hard work has led me to this point. Every drop of sweat, blood, and tears, and I've saved up 60 gold. It's actually now that it dawns on me I need 30 more. So when I came to find that Stek had sent me a mail telling me to put these up my behind, containing 25 gold and 60 tin bars, along with 7 grime-encrusted objects and 10 unidentifiable clumps of organic
authentic,
matter,
classic
I was pleasantly
experience,
surprised, to say the least. And whilst we're
How
on
about
the subject
that?
of mail, if you guys don't stop asking me for 50, I'm just not gonna show your mail. I'm trying to be monetized here, alright?
Yeah.
Anyways, with my newfound riches, I traveled back to where it all began, Darnassus, where I graciously learned to ride a tiger. I then legally purchased a tiger. And let's be honest, I'm pretty damn majestic right now.
Absolutely beautiful.
However, considering that my viewers paid for half of it, it ain't really all that impressive or fulfilling. So for the ending, here's what we'll do instead. Somewhere in this video, there's an Easter egg which will lead you on a scavenger hunt. If you actually manage to make it to the end, you'll be rewarded with my secret ice cream recipe. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
So that means I just read the comments and they tell me where to go, right? Like, that's, you know, that's the secret. Trust me, I've been through this before. I know how this works. Yeah, I get it, man. It's a QR code. Listen, I don't do QR codes. I can't subscribe to anybody because for whatever reason, whenever I click sign in on YouTube, it gives me an error. And I have to delete my cookies, but I was like, man, I want cookies, and so I didn't want to delete them yet. So I'm just stuck here, and I can't subscribe to anybody or anything like that. I don't do QR codes. No, I don't know how to do a QR code. I've never used a QR code before. I don't know what they are, really. Like, my understanding of what a QR code is one thing, and then, you know, there are stuff. Barney video on the side? Well, I think that we watched those, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, let me see here. Did we watch the Barney video? Let me pause this here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we watched all of these.
What you are witnessing here.
Let me see here. Yeah, we watched all of these videos. These were really good. Again, yo, relax. I think it's time, boys. I think that it's time to hit level 60.